This semester, I had the opportunity to continue working in the Otters classroom along with Miss Giselle with many of the same children I've been with since the beginning of my freshman year. Throughout the semester, I have implemented and reflected on 2 emergent curriculum activities, learning more about what I observed from the children and how these activities contributed to their social-emotional, cognitive, and physical development. The activities I designed grew directly out of my ongoing observations of the children during outdoor play. I consistently noticed how drawn they were to materials involving color, organization, and sorting, like matching puzzle pieces or categorizing toys in the mud kitchen. I also saw that activities involving pretend cooking captured their attention for long periods of time. Many of the children would often invite me to try their pasta, soup, or whatever dish they were creating that day. Another major influence on my planning was the recent opening of the SDSU Children's Center Garden. The children have been taking trips to the garden, exploring the produce, and even bringing fruits and vegetables back for the whole class to try during lunch. I wanted to build on this excitement by creating activities that would help them make deeper connections between the foods they recognize, the real produce growing in the garden, and their own cultural experiences with food. Another piece that inspired my planning was our trip to the Costa Roots Farm. Seeing how deeply the children engaged with nature during that experience showed me how nature-based curriculum can be and encouraged me to create activities that help the children connect food, color, and the natural world. This is why I chose these 2 activities centered on fruits, vegetables, colors, and categorization because these were authentic interests I saw every day, and I wanted to co-construct curriculum that built on the interests of what the children were already curious about. For my first activity, harvesting fruits and vegetables, I designed a hands-on experience where the children could explore how fruits and vegetables are harvested and prepared before reaching our tables. My goal was to help them understand the process involved and how to highlight that different types of produce grow in different ways. I provided the children with trowels, mini baskets, and sponges. These tools allowed them to actively participate in each stage of the process: digging, harvesting, and washing. One important domain this activity addressed was PD Health 6 personal care routines and hygiene. The children used sponges to wash the fruits and vegetables that they collected. This step introduced them to basic hygiene concepts that extend beyond just washing their hands, helping them understand that cleanliness applies to many other areas of their daily lives. Throughout this activity, I observed that many of the children turned it into meaningful dramatic play, pretending to cook with the fruits and vegetables that they harvested, pretending to eat them, or naming the produce they recognize. For my second activity, the Caterpillar's Colorful Feast, I wanted to continue to build on the children's curiosity about fruits and vegetables by focusing on sorting and categorizing them by colors. This time, I provided them with a variety of fruits and vegetables along with colored baskets so that they could sort the produce by color. To make that activity more meaningful, I integrated the book The Very Hungry Caterpillar and used a caterpillar cutout as part of the experience. This connection to literature gave the children a familiar story context and made that sorting activity more engaging. Furthermore, this provided the children another opportunity to engage with the activity, even if they didn't want to categorize the fruit into the colored baskets. During the activity, many of the children were able to identify many of the produce, such as apples, bananas, and broccoli. They successfully were able to categorize them into the correct colored baskets, showing their ability to connect what they saw with the sorting task. Additionally, I also guided conversations about how animals and insects eat familiar foods. This clicked for the children because then immediately they connected it to the caterpillar in the story and began feeding the cutout with the same foods. This activity supported several DRDP domains, such as approaches to learning and self-regulation, Alt-Reg 3 imitation, as the children imitated my actions I modeled beforehand, as I organized the correct colored fruits and vegetables into the colored baskets, as well as each other's ideas as they observed others feeding the caterpillar. Alt-Reg 4, curiosity and initiative in learning, as many of the children chose their own ways to engage meaningfully with the activity, such as bringing kitchenware to cook with, the foods, or initiating conversations about certain fruits and vegetables they liked and didn't like. Additionally, language and literacy development, LLD1, understanding of language, LLD2, responsiveness to language, LLD4, reciprocal communication and conversation, and LLD5, interest in literacy. The children responded to prompts, shared food experiences, asked questions, and explored the book alongside the materials. Additionally, cognition, math, and science development, Cog2 classification, as the children were sorting the fruits and vegetables by color and their type, Cog3, number, sense of quantity, as the children counted how many fruits and vegetables were in each basket, and Cog11, knowledge of the natural world, as many of the children recognized produce that they had seen in the garden and understood that animals and insects like caterpillars eat similar foods as we do. The caterpillar's colorful feast activity directly supported several goals related to the anti-bias early childhood education, such as Goal 3, Justice, which relates to understanding differences and respecting preferences. When children expressed liking or not liking certain foods, those feelings were acknowledged and validated. They learned that it's okay to have different tastes, as well as Goal 4, Activism, which encourages children to engage in activities in multiple meaningful ways. Some children were more drawn to the book or to feeding the caterpillar cutout rather than sorting by the fruits and vegetables by color, and that was encouraged. They could choose that path that felt most engaging to them. This semester helped me strengthen several teaching strategies, especially acknowledging, giving information, and asking questions. I learned that when I genuinely acknowledge children's ideas, for example, saying, I like how you found a new way to sort those foods, they become more eager to engage and collaborate. Watching my mentor teacher also taught me different ways to acknowledge children, whether they were seeking interaction or trying to connect with peers. I also focused on giving factual, relevant information that helped the children form real world connections. Before the activity started, I researched the process of harvesting fruits and vegetables so I could incorporate elements like washing produce with a sponge. I similarly learned more about what caterpillars eat so I could guide meaningful questioning. Asking open-ended questions became an essential part of my practice. Questions like do you caterpillars eat the same foods as us encourage children to think critically, make predictions, and share their own ideas. Throughout this experience and in my overall work with children, I have learned that children are incredibly capable. They are observant, they make connections without being prompted, and they remember experiences that matter to them. I also learned that teaching requires patience, empathy, and the ability to stay regulated during chaotic moments. Children at this age are active and curious, and they need adults who can support that exploration with understanding and flexibility. They remind me that learning is co-constructed, that children communicate in many ways, and that my role is to support their curiosity while creating meaningful, responsive learning environments.